Hello, welcome back to another BookTube video. In this video, I'm going to be discussing my top 6 for the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction shortlist, as well as trying to predict the winner. Last year, I did manage to predict the winner correctly, which was Hungry Ghosts. But this year, when trying to predict the shortlist, I didn't do so well and only got 2. Well, 2 out of my personal shortlist, and then 2 what I thought would make the shortlist. Combined, it was 3. Anyway, so this year I'm going to do my ranking and see how that goes. But first of all, I've got some honorary mentions that didn't make the shortlist. To be fair, I could probably rattle off most of the books that didn't make the long shortlist. There was quite a lot in there that I really liked. The Catchers by Zan Brooks and A Sign of Her Own by Sarah Marsh, to name a couple. But the 2 that I want to mention that I do think everyone, if you enjoy historical fiction and you like a really good read, something that doesn't take itself too seriously, but is enjoyable nonetheless. So first of all is Mother Naked by Glenn James Brown. So this is just, if you saw my video, excuse me, it's just a really good fun romp. It's really unique in the way it's written, as well as the story itself. It's kind of set in a first-person narrative, but all from the point of view of the Gleeman, Mother Naked, and it's like his show to the world, telling the story that happened 40 years previously. It's fun, it's dark, there's a few twists, the characters are really fun. Yeah, I really recommend that. But my favourite from the whole long list, which I'm still shocked that didn't make the shortlist, because to me it's brilliant, and that's The First Friend by Malcolm Knox. It's just, you know, it's a satirical take on Soviet era Georgia. Stalin's coming to visit, and we've got the ruler of Georgia, Beria, and his first friend. The first friend is a fictional, but obviously Beria was a real person. And we see the twists and turns. It's very dark in places, but it's quite funny as well. And yeah, it's just really unique, and I loved it. So I really recommend, if you can get your hands on this. I don't know if it's out here yet, if it's ever going to come out here. I had to order this from the publisher in Australia, but it was really worth it, to be honest. But they're my 2 honorary mentions that didn't make the shortlist that I think really should have done. So moving on to my ranking for this year's shortlist. So once again, I said it last year, I've said it a few times when reviewing these books, it's my own personal opinion on these books. It doesn't take anything away from the authors themselves. They all deserve to be here on the long list and the short list, but it's just a personal preference. And in number 6, I don't think it will surprise anyone if you saw my videos, is The Heart in Winter by Kevin Barry. I just didn't get on with it, to be honest. I can see what it was trying to do. It's very artistic, very literary, but there was etchings of a story coming together that I could enjoy, especially near the middle, 2/3 of the way through. But then even that, for me, stopped quite abruptly, and it was more about the language being used and this, you know, gushing story than the actual story itself. It's, yeah, I just couldn't get on with it, and the way it's written as well is quite kind of jarring for me. But it's going to have its fans. People are going to love it. You know, that's just my personal opinion. It's nothing to do with the book itself. I'm sure there's lots of fans for it, but for me, it's my number 6. So my number 5 and 4 are very interchangeable, and to be fair, making this video and preparing for this video, I've changed my mind about which position I should put them in. It's no reflection on the books themselves, to be honest, because the whole top 5 I really enjoyed. So it has been quite difficult. It's just the ones in the top 3 maybe picked these 2 to the post. But in number 5, I am going to put The Book of Days by Francesca Kay. I really loved it. It's set in Tudor England. It's kind of written in the style of a diary. And while there is this subplot of, you know, the woman involved, her husband, she married, well, she was young. The husband was old. It was his second marriage. He was building this, well, rebuilding the church to have this tomb in case so his family could have, I don't know, space in the church. But it's to do with the Reformation quite a bit as well. You know, before the Reformation, people idolised certain things, and, you know, the whole Protestant movement was to get rid of idolisation and make it all about worship. Anyway, that's the kind of undercurrent of the novel. We also have the seasons, which are quite, you know, prevalent in the novel. You know, it's what the descriptive language uses quite a lot is the changing seasons and the environment around. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It took a while for me to get into, but I did actually really enjoy it in the end. And that means at number 4, and once again, no disrespect to these novels because I know these will have their fans and I really enjoy them too. But in at number 4, I'm putting The Mayor by Anne Grant Hampshire. I did really enjoy it. It's a really interesting, quite dark at sometimes story, about this female concentration guard camp. And we flip between her story, so when she was a guard at the camp, but also to her present day, which was, 10, 15 years later, and how she kept that secret from her husband and how the secret becomes unraveled by a journalist and the downfall of the character. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if that did pinch the win just because of the subject content. But for me, it's not the winner out of the 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But yeah, so I really enjoyed both of those two, my 4 and 5, but I just enjoyed the top 3 a little bit more. So in at number 3 is The Land in Winter. So this one by Andrew Miller, I was really surprised by. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. And that's because it is quite, not a lot happens. So it's quite strange to say not a lot happens in it, but there's still some really interesting complex relationships between the two sets of characters, and I found myself wanting to know what was going to happen next with the characters' lives. My only critique, I think I said in my main video, is at the end with one of the pairs of characters, I just wanted to know a little bit more of what happened next to them. We got a bit of a closing story for one of the couples. I just wanted a bit more from the other couple, just because it built up this couple's lives over this period in 1962 in the winter when they had this harsh snowfall and all these secrets, unraveled. I just wanted to know what happened next. You've built me up, you've got me into these characters' lives, and now you just left me there. But I really enjoyed it. The writing was really nice as well. Kind of complex in places, but simplistic in others. And yeah, really enjoyable read and really took me by surprise. So that is my number 3. Not sure if I would be surprised with that one either, to be fair. But it's not my top 2. So what's left, my top 2. Oh, I've literally gone around with these 2. And it's like last year when I had the dilemma between The New Life and Hungry Ghosts. One that I really loved, but I think that was more on a personal level because of the subject content. And then one that I still really enjoyed, but it felt like a more all-round package. I still don't know what I'm going to do. So in at number 2 is, I don't know. I can't choose. So in at number 2 is Glorious Exploits by Ferdia Lennon. I absolutely love this. It's so unique in the way it's told, as well as the story itself. Set in ancient Sicily, these 2 guys who were potters, made ancient pottery anyway. Anyway, they're jobless at the moment, and they were recently invaded by Athens, but they had overthrown the Athenians, and now they're keeping them prisoners. And one of the characters decides that actually he's very much into the old ancient Greek plays, and they decide they're going to put on a play, and they use the Athenian prisoners to put that play on. It's so funny in places. There's humour. It's a bit dark, a bit of mystery as well, which I kind of quite enjoyed. I absolutely loved it. I would love this to win. I was surprised it made the shortlist, to be honest, because I was looking at last year and I thought, maybe it was a bit too fun and not too serious to make the shortlist. But I was happy to be wrong. So I could also be happy to be wrong about it not having a chance at winning. I'd be very happy for it to win. But I'm trying to use all my judgment to predict the winner. But anyway, that's my number 2. Highly recommend if you haven't read it. You've seen so many booktubers talk about this. Go and get it. Go read. And that means at number 1, my number 1 anyway, is The Safekeep by Jelle van der Wouden. For me, this is the all-round package. It has the beautiful writing, really beautiful in places, but a really interesting and unique story that took me by surprise halfway through, and then the whole title makes sense. You're like, ah, that's what it means. But there's some really interesting characterization in here as well, with the main character, and yeah, I just absolutely loved it. Yeah, I think it was shortlisted for the Booker Prize as well. That was last year. So it makes me wonder, will the judges pick something like this to win, as it's already had a bit of opportunity around in the competitions. But yeah, now I've got to try and predict what I think will win. To be fair, so looking, it could be anything between The Mayor and The Land in Winter and The Safekeep. I think it's probably between those three which will win. Happy to be wrong in its glorious exploits. But I think it's going to be The Safekeep. Only because I feel it's just such, as I said, a whole package. It's got the beautiful writing, very descriptive in places, but it's also got the story, which is so unique. It has its humour, it has its kind of racy moments, but it also is a bit dark in places, and there's an underlying story about displacements of people during the Second World War, when people were forced out of their homes. Now, this is set in the Netherlands, about 15 years after the war, in the early 60s, and tells a story about people who were displaced from their homes, and then people that came in and took over their lives almost. And yeah, it's so unique, and I just think it's the all-round package out of all of the books. And I do think, I'm going out on the limb to say that I think that will win. If it doesn't, there goes my 1 year streak of predicting the winner, but who cares? But yeah, all 6 of those books have their merits. 5, my top 5, I highly recommend. Even The Heart in Winter, I see what it was trying to do, it just wasn't for me. And also, to be fair, the rest of the long list, as I said, my 2 picks, Mother Naked, as well as The First Friend, but also The Catchers, I thought was really good. But I think maybe it was the subject content that put the judges off, because it's very unique, about these song catchers in the sort of 1920s America. And it's a topic I've never even heard of before. And I did think I wasn't going to enjoy it because of that, but I actually wholly enjoyed it. But also A Sign of Her Own and Clear as well by Carys Davies. I think maybe that was too short and experimental for the judges possibly, but I absolutely loved it. And I know a lot of other people on BookTube loved it. Anyway, rambled enough. That's my thoughts, my prediction as well, and my top 6. Have you read the top 6 shortlisted books? Blah. Have you read the shortlisted books for the Walter Scott Prize this year? If you have, let me know what you think. What do you think is going to win? That's it for now for this BookTube video. Next BookTube video will probably be me finishing Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. I'm really enjoying that at the moment. It's kind of picking up where The Warden left off, but it's more enjoyable. It's giving me what I thought I missed from The Warden, so I'm really enjoying that. And then that will probably take me up to the end of the month, because I'm doing a lot of studying, and I'm determined to take part in Jane Austen July this year. And I'm going to try and read 3 works by Jane Austen for July. That's my plans going ahead. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.